Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hi 2. Well, this is our 10th session. God willing, today we'll be covering pages 48 and 18. Now, let's get the ball rolling. Turn to page 48, please, everyone. Page 48. Caring for friends. Look at the text and take a listen, please. In a battle, a soldier was preparing to bring back his wounded friend from the field. Seeing this, his captain said, "It's of no use. Your friend is most likely to be dead by the time you reach him." Not taking his captain's advice, the soldier went and brought back his friend. Seeing the dead body of his friend on his shoulder, the captain said, "I told you it would be worthless as he is dead." To this, the soldier replied with most eyes, "Sir, it was really worth it to go back and get him. When I got him, he looked at me, smiled, and uttered his last words. I knew he would come." So, everyone, the title of our lesson is Caring for Others. Well, when we care for someone, we take care of them, we just So, care for, look after, take care of. Caring for friends, taking care of your friends, looking after them. By the way, guys, caring as another word, as an adjective, means kind and helpful. For example, moms are caring angels. But here, care for is a verb. It means look after, take care of. In a battle, battle means in a fight, a soldier was preparing to bring back his wounded friend from the field. A soldier, you see two soldiers here. So a soldier was preparing, was becoming ready, was getting ready to bring back, to return, to take back his wounded friend. Wounded, everyone, means injured. Wound and wounded. We use wounded to talk about people. For things, we say damaged. So wounded, injured by a weapon. From the field. Field, guys, here means the battlefield. A place that a war is being fought. So this guy, this soldier, was planning, was getting ready to bring his wounded, his wounded friend back. Seeing this, his captain said, "Captain," here means the military officer. Military officer. So seeing this, the captain said, when the captain saw this, when he noticed that he was about to bring his friend back, his officer said, "It's of no use." Of no use means it is useless, it is worthless, it is valueless. The opposite of valuable. So it is of no use. By the way, everyone, because it's a noun, we pronounce it as use. So it is of no use, it is useless. Because your friend is most likely to be So your friend is most likely, or we say very likely. So most likely means probably. So your friend is probably dead by the time you reach him, you get him. By the way, everyone, check out these words. Just a minute. Well, we have die, then died, dead, and deaths. Unfortunately, our dear students confuse these words. Well, the first word, die, as you can see here, die, it is opposite of live. So it means to stop living, to stop existing, die. For example, 12 people died in the accident, or she died from hunger, or my grandfather died of a heart attack, or it is a brave person who will die for their beliefs. So die is a verb. The past form, everyone, is died. You see, we add D to the end. Die, died. My late grandfather died 20 years ago. It means he is dead now. Dead. Dead. Everyone, dead is an adjective. It means not living. Not living anymore. For example, she's been dead for 20 years now. Or the motorcyclist was dead on arrival at the hospital. Or he was shot dead outside his home. So dead. Opposite of alive. Death, everyone, death is the noun form. It means the end of life. For example, do you believe in life after death? Or he never got over the death of his sister. Or the disease, for example, the COVID-19 causes thousands of deaths every day, let's say. So don't confuse them, please. Excuse me. So, not taking his captain's advice. Everyone, advice is the noun form of advise. Well, we take or we follow someone's advice. So we say take someone's advice or follow someone's advice. It means we listen to them. The opposite is ignore or disregard someone's advice. We don't listen to them. So take or follow someone's advice. The opposite is ignore or disregard someone's advice. So, not taking his captain's advice, the soldier didn't listen, didn't take his captain's, his commander's, his officer's advice. He ignored his advice. The soldier went and brought back his friend. He took his friend and he brought him back. Seeing the dead body of his friend on his shoulder, so when the captain saw the dead body, you see dead here, not alive, the dead body of his friend on the soldier's shoulder, the captain said, I told you it would be worthless as he is dead. I told you going there and bringing him back would be worthless, useless, valueless, as he is dead. Everyone, as here means because, for, since. So as he is dead, because he is dead. To this, the soldier replied with moist eyes. To this means when he heard this, when the soldier heard this, he replied, he answered with moist eyes, with wet eyes. So he answered while crying, "Sir, it was really worth it to go back and get him." So it was really valuable, it was great to go back and get him and bring him. Well, everyone, it was really worth it. We say to be worth something. When we say to be worth something, it means it is important and interesting. For example, I think this matter is worth our attention. Or when you are in New York, the National Museum of Modern Art is worth a visit. For example, is worth a visit means you need to go there and visit it. Or there's nothing worth reading in the newspaper. Alright? So, it was worth it. It was a good idea. It was useful. When I got him, when I just reached him, he looked at me, my friend, my wounded friend looked at me, smiled, and uttered his last words. Utter means state, say. "I knew you would come." So this is called caring for others, everyone. Putting others first. Being considerate or thoughtful of others. Something that is unfortunately too difficult to find, to come by nowadays. So remember to care for your beloved ones. Alright, well, back to page 18, guys, page 18. Well, on page 18, you can see a vocabulary table. As usual, guys, we're going to read the words. I will read the words. Later, I'm going to explain the meanings. And finally, we'll try to come up with example sentences and phrases. Okay, now take a listen, please. So, page 18, vocabulary 3A. Check the table below and complete the sentences. Yes, sir. Okay, so you see we have just 5 columns here. We have verbs, nouns, adjectives, adverbs, and collocations. Now, look at the words and take a listen, please. Defend, defend, defense, defense, defensive, defensive, defenseless, defenseless, defensible, defensible, indefensible, indefensible, defensively, defensively, confess, confess, confession, confession, prosecute, prosecute, prosecution, prosecution, deprive, deprive, deprivation, deprivation, deprived, deprived, intrude, intrude, intrusion, intrusion, intruder, intruder, intrusive, 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 intricacy, intricacy, intricate, intricate, intricately, intricately, intensify, intensify, intensity, intensity, intensive, intensive, intense, intense, intensively, intensively, intensely, intensely. So, the first group, defend, defense, defensive, defenseless, defensible, indefensible, and defensively. Well, everyone, defend means to do something to protect someone or something. Defend. Defense is the noun form. It means the act of protecting or defending someone or something. Defensive means used or intended to protect someone or something. It is an opposite of offensive. Well, the adverb form is defensively, which means in a defensive way, and the noun form can be defensiveness. Well, defenseless means weak and unable to protect yourself. Well, defensible means reasonable and you can support it. The opposite is indefensible. And the collocations, we have defend someone against or from somebody or something. Be, feel, look, become, grow defensive, or be and find indefensible. Now, some example sentences. So, defend, as I told you, means to do something in order to protect someone or something. For example, a struggle to defend our homeland, or we say defend against or from something. The need to defend democracy against rebels, for example. Or here is some advice on how women can defend themselves from attackers. Or we need to defend against military aggression. Or he defended his wife against rumors. Or James wrote to the journal immediately defending himself. By the way, everyone, you can use stand up for or instead of defend. This is more common. For example, she was the only person who stood up for me at the meeting. Instead of saying defended me at the meeting, you can say she was the only person who stood up for me at the